man, if you want to get married, have kids, and be the provider and protector of your home, you want to provide a better life for your kids than what you had, those are great things. And our society would tell you on one side or the other that that's crazy, but it's actually really good if you want to do those things. It's also really life-giving. It's a way that you can have meaning and purpose in your life, that the things that you're working towards, the hard work that you're doing, is for a purpose. It's not just for your own pleasure. It's not just to try to get with the hottest person you can for as long as you can and then move on to the next one. Like, that's so meaningless. It's so ridiculous that we would be trying to shoot for that. But it's also ridiculous to have this idea that it's wrong or toxic masculinity to want to provide for your family so that your wife can stay home with your kids while they're little, so that your kids can have structure and safety and support from a stable home. That is an amazing thing. And for some reason in our society, we are pushing men towards two extremes. One is that we're saying that manhood in general is toxic, and so you've got to be an ally and fight against the patriarchy and all this stuff. And so either they totally emasculate men and making men weak and feckless and not actually providers or protectors, but just losers. Or on the other side, the reaction to that is to say, well, screw it. Men are stronger, more dominant, and so we can just go domineer everybody else and get whatever we want. And both of those are really bad. They produce horrible outcomes for you, for your spouse or girlfriend or whoever, for kids. It's absolutely horrible for society, and it doesn't actually produce happiness. Those two extremes are terrible. And it's a really good thing if you want to make enough money so that your spouse can stay home. It's a really good thing to want to be a provider and protector. It's an amazing thing to provide stability for your kids. And it's really the way to have long-term happiness, long-term purpose. Something that regularly comes up in conversation when I'm talking to young people, and even people who are not young but haven't figured this out, is how do you figure out your purpose? How do you figure out how to orient your life towards somewhere that you want to go? And a huge part of that is to just realize that God's created us for a reason, that He has plans and purpose for us, and that He's made you who you are on purpose. So if you feel yourself wanting to push back against this idea of that men need to take the back burner, that's okay. It's actually a really good thing. Really encourage you not to then go run after Andrew Tate and all that kind of idea of like, be a jerk, domineer other people, fight for this ultra masculine dominance. That's wicked and evil, and it's not going to produce good fruit for you or for the people around you. It actually produces horrible outcomes for everybody. So if you're thinking, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to be a provider and protector, embrace that. And then use that as motivation. Because we've all heard this idea that you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and if you want to be successful in life, you got to work hard. And I actually agree with the underlying principle behind that. But it's not just any kind of work. You can work 3 jobs and work incredibly hard and spend that money over the weekend. Go to the bar and spend that money and it's all gone. And I really believe that the antidote to that, the way to be able to work hard and actually make progress, is when you're not just trying to make progress for yourself, but you're making progress that betters your life, betters the life of your spouse, the person that you're choosing to be with, bettering the life of your kids and future generations. When you take that approach, it gives motivation. It makes you so much more effective. And when you work, you're not just working for the weekend, you're working for a future generation. And so you're able to not only enjoy and embrace the work that you have in front of you, but you're also going to be much more intentional about doing the kind of work that's going to make you better, so that in a few years you're working less hard to make significantly more money, which takes a lot of thought, it takes a lot of intention. But without having that motivation to say, man, I want to make a better life for my family, I want to make a better life for my kids, I want my spouse or my wife to be able to stay home and raise my kids. You're not going to have the grit and the motivation to work hard enough to get ahead. And if you do, it's just going to be for selfish reasons. And when you finally reach your goal, you're going to be chasing after something else. So this is my call to say, hey guys, it's okay. This is your permission that if you want to get married, you want to have a family, or you want to be the provider, protector, that is a great thing. Don't run away from it. Embrace it and use that as motivation to get yourself ahead, to get the skills you need to really make an amazing life for yourself, for your wife, for your kids, and for future generations.